Hey, what is going on, road trippers? Road Trip Nate here. Once again, welcome back to the channel. Tonight, as the captions at the top stated, we're going to be talking about the year in review for 2025. Earlier, I did the year end awards. Now is the year in review. I've got to find the. Okay. The year started with going to Texas. Chasing warmer weather on January 6th, 2025. It was about chasing warmer weather. I went to Sherman, Texas. And then there was, I did a video about my health, which my back, the extra disc in my spine, which that's still a concern of mine, but I yeah I'm still trying to deal with that. And then I went to Tulsa. I was gonna visit with my buddy Tim. I stayed at one of the Super 8s. But yeah, that was my Texas trip for the year. Going down to Sherman, and then went down to Fort Scott, Kansas, or up to Fort Scott. That was a fun trip. Fort Scott was fun. It it gave me the this is cool. Excuse me. Yeah, Fort Scott gave me the I I have banned the word this is cool because of my video from Fort Scott. Because I said that so many times during this is cool. This is cool. That that is banned. But yeah, that that was that was one of my favorite trips was going to Fort Scott, seeing the old fort. I loved that trip. Seeing the old bridge going to the 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 bar. There was nobody at the bar. It was just, these two old men, locals. They were just having a conversation amongst themselves. So that was a good a good a good a good experience. Next one, the one that won Trip of the Year, Iowa. First of February. Why I went to Iowa in the first part of February, I don't know. But that was the best trip I've had this year. The first time I went back to Iowa in 5 years. Yeah, it started off. It started off. I stayed in Springfield. I was gonna go to Kentucky to go see to Horse Cave to go see the cemetery where my buddy Ben is buried. He he had committed suicide, so I was gonna go see where he was buried. But I woke up the next morning and I was like, you know what? I wanna go up to Iowa. I don't wanna go to Kentucky. I wanna go to Iowa. Cause I was like, I never got Iowa on video back in 2020. So that's what I'm doing. So that's what I did. I got Iowa on video. I got the apartment I stayed at. In Coralville, and I got tailgaters, which, like I said, I I have had two weird experiences at tailgaters. First time I went there was the first night that I stayed with the group that I was with the roofing company, and we all went out drinking, and they thought they lost me because I ended the night at Tailgaters, which is .6 miles away from the apartment, and I was drunker than a skunk, and I was done for the night. So I was like, I'm gonna go back to the apartment. I should have told somebody that I was leaving, but I just left. And then they all found me passed out in my on my mattress. But the second time, which was during this current trip, I I went to Tailgaters, just for nostalgia reasons, and I told the waitress at the bar, because I guess it was happy hour, 2 beers for the price of one. I was like, okay. After I finished my first beer, I was like, I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette. She's like, okay. I came back and there was like 3 phones at my, and somebody had taking a few drinks off my second beer, I was like, well, that's weird. So I sat back down. A few minutes later, the same guy comes back and picks up all of his phones and everything, and I was like, that's weird. But yeah, that was, like I said, that earlier, that was trip of the year. And then I left Coralville and went to Kansas City before having to go to work. And I did not realize there was going to be ice. There was a thin layer of ice in front of my hotel room. Well, I checked into my hotel room, the roadway in, right across the street from a homeless camp. Thankfully, my room was a smoking room. I did not leave my room the entire night because there was homeless people walking up and down the street. Because Kansas City. But that was scary. And then stepping out of my hotel room the next morning, not realizing that there was ice, and then almost busting my butt. Yeah, that and then I didn't really do I didn't do anything for a few months. I did my normal Halloween videos, watched my normal what I did on the Halloween Psycho and Scream. Watched Stranger Things season 5. And then Adam the Woo passed away. Which was a big blow to me because Adam the Woo was anytime first thing I did every morning was is whenever I wake up, I watch YouTube. The first the first video I look at, the first video I want to watch was Adam the Wood. And then it's that's all gone now. But that's the year in review for 2025. If you're new here, please feel free to hit that subscribe button after the video to stay notified on all my current and future whereabouts. And if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Let me know you care. This is Road Trip Nate saying, until midnight. We've done the year end awards. Now we've got the year in review. Next is the countdown to midnight. So long, road trippers.